Gabby Petito. An adventurous, free spirit, whose dream was to share her travels with the world. But what was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime, turned into an unspeakable tragedy that shocked the nation. What if the person you loved, the one you thought you knew best, turned out to be the one who would destroy your life? Gabby Petito went missing after what seemed like a dream road trip. But what really happened? The chilling truth behind her disappearance wasn't just shocking, it was terrifying. Was her tragic end inevitable? And why did Brian Laundrie leave her behind without a second thought? On August 25, 2021, Gabby Petito disappeared without a trace. A bright young woman with a love for travel, nature, and her family, she set off with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, on a cross-country road trip. But when Gabby's family couldn't reach her, the world was about to find out that something far darker than a simple missing persons case had unfolded. Today, we delve into the psychological, emotional, and investigative journey of a case that remains unsolved. But not for long. What happened to Gabby Petito? How did a young woman's dreams end so tragically? Was it a tragic accident, or was there something much more sinister at play? And how did her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, go from her traveling partner to the prime suspect in her disappearance? Stay with us as we uncover shocking truths, hidden clues, and the dark psychology behind the tragic events that led to Gabby Petito's death. The pieces of this mystery will leave you questioning what we missed, and how much was really known all along. Gabby's story began with an innocent love for travel, a 22-year-old woman, passionate about van life and exploring the beauty of the United States. Her Instagram was filled with stunning images of nature, with the caption, "Live your life like a road trip." But the vibrant smile in these photos hides a much darker story. Behind closed doors, her relationship with Brian Laundrie had been anything but perfect. What we didn't see in those perfect photos was the subtle emotional manipulation and controlling behavior that Brian had towards Gabby. Experts have now pointed to these early signs of toxicity, an all-too-common pattern in abusive relationships. On August 12, 2021, in Moab, Utah, things took a turn for the worse. A witness called 911, reporting a domestic disturbance between Brian and Gabby. When police arrived, Gabby was visibly shaken, while Brian appeared defensive, avoiding eye contact and showing signs of frustration. In the footage, we see Gabby struggling to explain herself, while Brian remains distant and dismissive. The officer's questioning reveals what many might have missed, the growing psychological strain between them. Gabby was clearly vulnerable, and Brian's behavior foreshadowed the troubling path their relationship was heading down. But this moment of emotional distress would go unnoticed by most. The police, not fully recognizing the depth of the situation, sent them on their way with no arrest, an all-too-familiar reality in cases of domestic abuse. The clock was ticking, and Gabby's fate was becoming more uncertain by the day. Days after the Moab incident, Gabby's communication with her family stopped. The last message Gabby sent to her mother, Nicole Schmidt, was cryptic: "No service in Yosemite." It was the last time Gabby would reach out. From then on, silence. Her family's growing concern intensified, but they had no idea how grave the situation had become. What was happening in those final days? Gabby's silence became a growing mystery, and as the days passed, her family became frantic. But there was one thing they didn't know: Brian Laundrie had already returned home to Florida. Without Gabby. On September 19, 2021, the search for Gabby came to a devastating conclusion. Her remains were found in a remote area of Grand Teton National Park. The heartbreaking discovery confirmed the worst: Gabby Petito had been murdered. What followed was a nationwide search for answers. With Gabby's body found, the investigation shifted into high gear. But the real twist? The person who held the key to this mystery, Brian Laundrie, had vanished. His sudden disappearance raised even more questions about his involvement, and the true nature of the crime that had taken Gabby's life. Brian Laundrie's return to Florida without Gabby was just the beginning. Over the next few weeks, he acted suspiciously. Authorities revealed that he had used Gabby's debit card after her death, a clear attempt to cover his tracks. His evasive behavior, refusal to cooperate with the investigation, and ultimately his flight into the wilderness left law enforcement scrambling for answers. The hunt for Brian Laundrie became one of the most intense manhunts in recent memory. But in the end, the answers came too late. In October 2021, Brian's body was found in a Florida nature reserve. And with it, a shocking discovery, a handwritten confession. In his final moments, Brian Laundrie left behind a confession. In a handwritten note found near his remains, he admitted to killing Gabby. The document detailed his emotional state, the control he had over Gabby, and his inability to face the consequences of his actions. But was it just guilt? Or was it a desperate attempt to regain control over the narrative? What do Brian's final words reveal about his psychological breakdown? Brian's actions suggest a deep emotional instability. His confession may have been a final attempt at self-redemption, or perhaps a reflection of a narcissistic need to control the narrative. While justice was never fully served, Gabby's family found a new purpose. From the depths of their grief, Nicole and Joseph Petito transformed their sorrow into action, founding the Gabby Petito Foundation to raise awareness about missing persons and domestic violence. Though the legal process didn't bring closure, Gabby's legacy is now one of advocacy. Her case has sparked a nationwide conversation about how we handle domestic violence and how we can better protect those who are vulnerable. Gabby's case has become a turning point in the way we view missing persons and domestic violence. It's prompted new laws, increased public awareness, and continues to push for change in law enforcement protocols. What happened to Gabby Petito is tragic, but it has created a catalyst for social change. It's up to all of us to continue this conversation and make sure her death was not in vain. As we reflect on the Gabby Petito case, we are left with more than just sorrow. We are left with a call to action. How can we better protect those at risk? How can we prevent this from happening again? Gabby's story will continue to inspire change, and through the advocacy of her family, we can make sure that tragedies like this are no longer overlooked. Remember her, fight for justice, and always look out for the signs. Thank you for watching. If you've been touched by Gabby's story, share this video, subscribe for more updates, and consider supporting the Gabby Petito Foundation.